You have probably asked ChatGPT to research your next career move. But what if it's not even the best tool for that? Today, I am testing four AI tools with the same question to see which one actually delivers what job seekers need. One question, four AIs, one clear winner. Let's find out. Hi, career pragmatist. If you are new here, I am Natalia, a career coach turned AI entrepreneur. And this is the first episode of our AI Battle, a new series where I test AI tools head to head so you know exactly which one to use for each step of your job search. I'm putting ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude through the same test. Same prompts, same criteria, no favoritism. We will see how well these tools perform the research. By the end, you will know which AI you can actually trust for job market research, if there is any, and how to get the result that sounds like less inspirational fluff and more like a concrete strategy. Let's go. First of all, let's clarify why to perform job market research. Well, if you're a career pragmatist, you don't wait for a crisis to plan your next move. You treat your career the way an entrepreneur treats a business. Doing job market research is like launching a new product. When you are not planning a change, that's your big picture phase. You scan the market to see where your industry and role are hidden, which skills are gaining value, and which ones are starting to fade. It's ongoing market awareness, the same way a smart business tracks its sector to stay competitive. Then comes the focus search, when you start considering a change. This is like deciding which customer segment you will serve. Out of all possible options, you narrow down the target market. List concrete companies you might work for, specific roles that match your strengths, and the skills you may need to close the gaps. Finally, the deep dive, the client research phase. Now you're actively in the sales process, preparing your applications and interviews. Just like a business owner studies their client before pitching, you study the company, its structure, challenges, competitors, and identify how you can create value from day one. That's how you move from broader awareness to focused positioning, then to closing the deal. Same strategic logic an entrepreneur would use, just apply to your career. Now, I hope I sold you this idea of job market research and why we need to do it as a career pragmatists. Let's see which AI actually helps you do this research well. Our four contenders, ChatGPT, Claude AI, Google Gemini, and Perplexity AI. Each gets three prompts that mirror the exact framework, from big picture to deep dive. We will score them from 1 to 5. 1 doesn't meet the criteria, 5 fully meets the criteria, on two criteria. Completeness, does it cover what I actually need to know? And source transparency. Can I verify where this data comes from? Same questions, different tools. Let's see who wins. Round 1, the big picture. Our first prompt was, what are the fastest growing roles and emerging niches within Europe's tech industry right now? And what is driving that growth? I challenged four AIs with this prompt. First one, ChatGPT, because, well, everyone goes to ChatGPT. It gave a nice structured summary with some links to resources. Since source transparency is one of our criteria that's really appreciated. It also covered what is driving growth, main trends with sources listed. Overall, good job. I would rate it 4 out of 5 for completeness of information and 4 out of 5 for source transparency, simply because I would prefer to see more official data from institutions, not just blogs or media. Also, there were some sources from 2023, which might not be that perfectly up to date. Next, Google Gemini. Gemini gave a clean table summary. Easy to download from LLM and export to Sheets. I love that format. But unfortunately, that's not what we are testing here. Because the rest, Gemini failed this assignment. No sources whatsoever, 1 out of 5. And the content was confusing. It listed renewable energy engineers and environmental engineers as emerging roles in the tech sector, which isn't quite right. So overall, unclear and not credible. Next, Claude. Same issue. No sources at all. So again, 1 out of 5 for transparency. In terms of content, it mentioned a few niches and trends quite similar to ChatGPT. So maybe 3 or 4 out of 5 for completeness, but impossible to verify without sources. And finally, Perplexity. Strong start. Clear summary plus 5 different sources, including London School of Economics and the European Commission. That's exactly what I want to see. Credible institutions, not just random blogs. The structure, the sources, the relevance, excellent. The winner is Perplexity, followed by ChatGPT, then Claude, and Gemini last. Round 2. Which companies in Europe are actively hiring for software sales right now? And what types of profiles are they seeking? ChatGPT narrowed the entire European market down to Germany and the UK, with just 2 company examples. No idea why it picked those. And then it linked to a random page. 344 software sales jobs in Belgium. Why Belgium? No clue. When I checked it, it was just a random job search, no logic behind, no context. Plus, when it comes to the information on the demanded profiles, the only source it mentions is Reddit, which is not credible. Plus, that post was from 2022, so not great at all. Google Gemini listed some companies and European tech hubs, London, Dublin, Amsterdam, Germany, and at least provided a bit of structure. Still, very few sources and not much context. I would give it 3 out of 5 for completeness and 3 out of 5 for transparency. Claude really tried hard this time. It gave 10 sources, very enthusiastic, but again, questionable accuracy. Some sources were meetups or community platforms, not verified company data. It mentioned companies that are growing, but not necessarily hiring. Better effort overall, still 3 out of 5 for both criteria. Perplexity. On the other hand, pull data directly from job banks. That's a clear advantage. It included a good overview of companies actively hiring, desired candidate profiles, and a neat summary table. So again, Perplexity wins round 2, followed by Gemini, then Claude, then ChatGPT. Round 3, DHL case study prompt. Imagine you are in the recruitment process for a head of operation roles at DHL in the Netherlands. Based on the company's latest financial and sustainability reports, what are the top 3 challenges this team might be facing right now? Who are DHL's main competitors? And what 3 ideas could you bring in your first 90 days to add value? Disclaimer: this is just an example. I don't know if this role actually exists or is currently open. It's purely for testing purposes. ChatGPT delivered a very solid answer. It listed top challenges, identified main competitors, and even added action points, specific steps to take. Really nice touch. Gemini started with a polite congratulations message, a bit of a human touch, and gave a good summary of challenges, competitors, and ideas. But again, no sources. So it doesn't meet the transparency criteria. Maybe 3 out of 5 for completeness. Claude came back strong with 10 different pages directly from DHL. Solid data, strong source transparency, plenty of numbers. Obviously, you would still need to verify the figures yourself, but overall, very good quality. Perplexity gave a concise, direct answer. Top 3 challenges, main competitors, and 3 ideas for the first 90 days. Straight to the point, but no extra background or depth on competitors. So, while it's efficient, it could go a bit further. Based on this round, ChatGPT takes the win for completeness and actionable insights. Claude is second, strong data and transparency. Perplexity comes third, clear but too brief. Gemini again last, no source transparency. All right, let's define the ultimate winner. Let's start from place number 4. Google Gemini takes the fourth spot. Why? Because all 3 rounds, it consistently struggled with source transparency and completeness of information. Even though the layout and table format were nice, the content itself just did not hold up. So Gemini lands on the fourth place. Now, moving to place number 3. That goes to Claude. Claude did a good job, especially in the third round. It came back strong with real data, multiple references, and decent structure. But overall, the consistency wasn't there. The early rounds lacked sources and accuracy was questionable. So, Claude takes third place. Next, second place. That one goes to ChatGPT. Overall, a solid, stable performance across all 3 rounds. It consistently delivered structured, readable content. And then the final round, it really stood out with actionable insights and practical ideas. Still, a bit too reliant on generic sources and not always the most up to date. But overall, very good job. And finally, our winner, Perplexity. Not just good, consistently strong. In terms of completeness and source transparency, Perplexity clearly outperformed the others. It provided credible sources, structured summaries, and direct, concise answers. Exactly what you need for real world research. So, for this first AI battle, Perplexity takes the crown. Well, what I would say in the conclusion. As you could see, some of these platforms are better at research than others, but each of them responds differently on the same prompt. What does it tell us? Never rely on one AI alone. Cross check your findings. Start with ChatGPT for structure, verify with Perplexity or Gemini or Claude for data, and compare the overlap. That's how you turn generative AI into decision intelligence, not digital gossip. And no matter which AI you use, follow the simple 3-step job market research flow. Step 1. Map the big picture. Ask what's changing in your industry or function. Keep your learning agenda alive. Treat it as a habit to stay updated on the market. Like some people check stock prices or weather forecasts, career pragmatists follow the job market news. Step 2. Zoom in. Identify who is hiring and what they value. Keep your strategy focused when you consider the move. Step 3. Deep dive. Study target companies, their challenges, directions, vocabulary. So every message and interview answers lands relevant. So, did your favorite AI live up to the hype or did Perplexity surprise you? Tell me in the comments which tool you trust for real research. Stay tuned because in the next episode, we will test them all again, this time on CV writing and optimization. Oh, that will be interesting. Until then, use AI like a strategist, not a tourist. Talk soon.